What up, everybody? Pat Mayo here, breaking down the 2020 Tour Championship DraftKings field because it's a really wonky week for DraftKings, both scoring and pricing, because there's a few things you need to know right off the hop. For the Tour Championship, there's only 30 players in the field. There's no cut. So it's a very small event to begin with. And now we're looking at a situation where there's a stagger leaderboard. What does that mean exactly? Well, I shall tell you. That the top 30 in the FedEx Cup standings are all positioned on the leaderboard before the event starts. So Dustin Johnson is currently first in the FedEx Cup standings. He will start the week at -10. Jon Rahm is second. He is going to start at -8. It goes all the way down to the bottom where Billy Horschel is in 30th. So 26th through 30th is starting at even par. Now, the weird thing is this has been adjusted in the DraftKings pricing this week. For example, Dustin Johnson, $15,200. Jon Rahm, who starts 2 strokes back, $12,700 on DraftKings. So you have to keep that in mind when you're constructing your teams. Now, that's much higher than your normal highest price player, but at the low end, Mark Leishman, who just is coming off +30 at the BMW Championship, is the bare min at $5,000. So it does give you a bit more wiggle room, but there's one of 2 ways you can play it this week. If you take Dustin Johnson or even Jon Rahm, it's going to be difficult to fill out a roster of guys that could populate the very top of the leaderboard. However, it's not just the overall points that matter in terms of where you are on the leaderboard. Yes, those bonus points are factored in. So Dustin Johnson will not only start in the lead, he will start with a positive 30 points on DraftKings because he will be in first place. Now, maybe by the time he tees off, he's no longer in first place at East Lake, but you see what I'm saying here. Jon Rahm will have 20 points to start because he's in second. It's a lot like Sunday Showdown, but for the entire week's worth of tournaments. So there's a little bit more strategy here. For me personally, I am going to go down the list a little bit, and I'm going to leave some money on the table because if I'm going to play in the $25 on DraftKings this week with 100,000 people in it, there's going to be a lot of similar lineups just through osmosis of there only being 30 players in the field and only so many combinations you can have. The easiest way to make sure that you're not duplicated, that if you come in first, listen, splitting for first place is never a bad thing. You've still come in first place. You're still going to win a bunch of money. I'm playing for the big money though. Not that I ever win it, but that's what I'm playing for. So I'm good with leaving like even $1,500 on the table and fading some of these top guys. I'm going to start at Webb Simpson. Webb is 4th in the standings. He starts at -6, just 4 strokes back. He's $11,000. But we're back on Bermuda, and he skipped last week at the BMW Championship, so he's fresh. But on Bermuda grass in 2020, he has 2 wins, 2 thirds, and a 12th in 5 tournaments. That is amazing. And this is a perfectly tailored course for Webb. There's a Wyndham Championship crossover, which I very much enjoy. And it's not a course where bombers just go out and dominate. Bill Haas, Billy Horschel, Jim Furyk, Brandt Snedeker. These are all guys that have won at East Lake in the past. Mike Weir has won at East Lake in his career. So it's not just bombers that can go out. This actually is a bit of a mitigating factor in terms of distance. You don't need to be the longest guy in the field. We know that Webb isn't, and his driving actually is much better now than it's ever been realistically at any point of his career. He's hitting a ton of fairways. He's not Rory off the tee or Bryson or Dustin or Jon Rahm, but he's hitting fairways and not losing strokes. That's key for him because it's all about putting and irons at this course, and that's what Webb Simpson does. After that, I'm just going to go down to Billy Horschel. He's played at the Tour Championship 3 times in his life. He has a 1st, a 2nd, and a 7th, and he wasn't even all that bad at the BMW Championship, despite the fact that it looked like he was playing horrible on Sunday. Finished high-end in ball striking. He's super cheap. He probably is going to be popular, but that's okay for me because I do think that he goes a bit on a run, and if I leave money on the table, he's most likely to be paired with Rahm or Dustin Johnson. If I start with Webb and then go to Billy Horschel and fill in the middle, the sandwich of my lineup, I feel like I'm doing a little bit better. Terrell Hatton is another guy I'm really eyeing this week as well. Another one who 3 consecutive events has been gaining with ball striking. Now he's back on Bermuda. Maybe that putter can come back for him. So those 3 guys put together and then try to figure out the rest of my lineup from there. That's the way that I'm approaching it this week, as people know. Sometimes you want to do the opposite of what Pat Mayo is doing. And I do want to throw out that fantasynational.com, still up and running if you're looking for stats. fantasynational.com/Mayo gets you 20% off. Smash the like for the video. And if you're looking for full episodes of the Pat Mayo Experience, they're still out there. They're over on Mayo Media Network, the YouTube page. Go subscribe now.